I guess it's time once again for us to dig into the seedy underbelly. Okay, it's not seedy underbelly, but it's certainly an expensive and I would say niche rabbit hole to jump into. I've said before that I'm not really a masterpiece collector, but that's because of two things. One, the cost is really high if you want to get into this line, but two, I expect perfection for a line called Masterpiece. And I know, I get it, I'm overly picky. So thanks to friend of the channel, Jeff, I really appreciate him letting me take a look at this. It is the Seeker mold. I've never looked at it on the channel before. I'm not going to look at all the Seekers or anything like that, but I did feel like I should at least have the mold covered. And since everybody and their dog has done the, main trio, I thought I'd look at something a little bit different and take a step back in time as we delve into the Transformers Masterpiece, the Hasbro version of Acid Storm, on the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Check out Machinery Man, the Everything Factor. Have a look at Universal Collision. Season 1 is now complete. As we, I guess, now start the march towards Season 2 as of this recording. Check me out everywhere. And this is a box that I remember seeing on the shelves ever so many years ago now. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this came out during the era of Thrilling 30 because on the side of the box it says 8 of 30. So I'm going to say that this was part of that line where the idea was you get all 30 of the identified Transformers. He is called MP-01. Obviously we know that the numbering for Hasbro is different than the Takara line. It's a beautiful box, purple, nice artwork on the front. It is Acid Storm on the back. We have, again, a bunch of shots. We have his right up on the side of the box. And I guess I'll just touch on the right up on the side. It's really interesting. I didn't know this about the Rainmakers, or certainly Acid Storm at least, because we barely saw him in the original animation, but he has a strength of 6, but he has an intelligence of 9, he has a courage of 9, and he has a skill of 10. Apparently he works in silent, kind of behind the scenes. He doesn't talk a whole lot, but when he does speak, it is very important. The things he says, it is very well... The words are very well weaved together, and it makes this guy someone that could really go up the ranks of the Decepticons, but he doesn't aspire to that. He does vehemently defend their cause, and we all know what this mold is like, so I'm not planning on going into a huge amount of detail because we've seen this mold a million times, both official and unofficial. So let's take this out of it. And let's bring in, I guess first, his little instruction manual. That's there. So, we have instructions, yay for that. He also comes with this display stand. It has a beautiful Decepticon logo on it, and of course his name. And it has this piece that attaches this way for the plane mode. I don't find that it particularly attaches terrific, and this way for robot mode, that is much better. We're going to leave those aside. And it has a little chromed pilot. Now I believe that the pilot was called Dr. Arkeville in with the Starscream mold, but you can see the little chrome pilot there, and he actually seems to be wearing like a pilot helmet, I guess. So we have that little bit. And of course we have this guy. This is Acid Storm, and we're going to measure him as we always do. He should be 10s across the board. So paint apps. Here's the thing. If you are kind of down with the whole notion, and I'm going to try and alter the camera a little bit here. If you're down with the whole notion of him being a, you know, having an earth mode and I guess having the camo, then honestly his paint apps are, that's not right. His paint apps are going to be a 10 for you. If you are not cool with him looking like that earth mode with the camo, then his paint apps are going to be less for you, because the one time we saw him in animation, he was just a plain green. Simple as that. If anything, this version, the Little Legends version, is probably more accurate, even though he has purple on the wings. You can see the difference here, obviously. The Little Legends version, I looked at him in full, along with a couple of repaints that I did to make a custom set of Rainmakers in episode 186 some time ago. So yeah, paint apps, I'm going to give it a 10 because for the motif that they were going for, it is glorious. Absolutely fantastic. And we all know that this has basically the perfect Seeker head sculpt. See if I can just bring it in a little bit there to show it. He actually has green eyes, which I think works really good for him. I think that's really a cool feature for this guy. So paint apps a 10. We start off really well. In terms of articulation, well, the wings can move in and out, and they can flip a little bit and go all the way back, so you can get them out of the way for the shoulders, which is nice. The head can look up and down a bit, go left and right. The shoulder pauldrons kind of keep it from going all the way around. The shoulders go all the way out, we know this. They can flip all the way around if you can get the wing out of the way, but the problem is, as you probably just saw, when you move it, you have this chest piece move. It doesn't peg in anywhere. Again, we all know that. The elbows are, I mean, it's a nice double elbow, beautiful, deep. We have bicep swivel, and his null ray moves with his biceps, so that's great for poses. The thumb is articulated, the first finger is articulated at, it looks like 2 hinges up by the knuckle and then down by the other knuckle. And his other 3 fingers are hinged at the knuckle and then the midway point, but they are all one piece. He does have ever so slight of a waist, not really a swivel, but a waist jiggle, we'll call it. We'll call it a waist jiggle. If you put these out to the side, the legs, you get these out of the way, the legs can come out about that far, certainly not full splits by any stretch of the imagination. They can go, hard to hold on to this guy. They can go forward, you know, about that far. They can go back about that far. The knee can bend up on a double joint. Really it's over 90 degrees, I just don't want to push it. The knee looks kinda ugly though. I'm not a fan of how the hinge looks. The toes, they can kind of swivel around a little bit. The thruster tilts, I guess you could almost fake it as a little bit of an ankle tilt if you really, really had to. The chest, he does have that same chest problem we've seen with this mold where this happens, where he goes up and down and doesn't really lock in. I think that's unfortunate. He is very stable as he stands, with, you know, a nice heel support back here down on the foot. No problem with that. And he has a thigh swivel. Okay, so you can get a lot of dynamic poses with him, but the legs are a little bit hindered, unless I'm doing something really wrong. You know, I would call that hindered. It's effective, but it doesn't quite go out as far as we might like for it to. I don't like how those chest pieces come up. I certainly don't like this body piece coming up. The head can't go all the way around because of the pauldrons on the side. I gotta give his articulation about a 7. It's all right. But why this mold has been used 8 or 10 or 12 times, whatever it's been used now, I really don't get. It's not fantastic. It's okay. Now, we have a 10 for paint apps because I was generous giving it to him because of the motif that they were going for. And he has a 7 for articulation. This is a masterpiece. 7 is not perfect. Truth is, I feel like I get more articulation out of the, for example, Deluxe FOC Seeker mold than I get out of this, even though that is a stylized look. He also comes with these little rocket launcher things that you can attach to the back of his wings. You can leave them there, and I will show that. For now, I'm just going to take them off because they do just tab on. I'll show this. They do just tab on with a little circular tab here. They look good, all right, you know. I guess this is what he fires into the clouds to make them corrosive, I guess. That's the only thing I can really see there. And I guess we'll jump into, before we jump into transformation, just for comparison's sake as well, here he is with Masterpiece Bumblebee. Bumblebee, real small for a figure that here at retail was $135. Yeah, you heard that right, folks. But you see how they scale. I looked at Bumblebee and Spike in full in episode 273. So, transformation for this guy. Again, I don't want to, because this has been done a million times, I really don't want to spend a crazy amount of time on it. We're going to see how easy it is and how quickly I can actually get through it. We're going to do as we always do and start off with the easiest stuff first, which is going to the back of the wing and flipping up the little wing flaps. You don't have to do this now, of course, but hey, why wouldn't you? It's nice and easy. So we have that much done. We can pull off this piece for now as well, and we can even angle the nose so that it's facing out. We will come down to the bottom of him now. And this toe piece turns around and flips up on his leg, turns around, flips up on the leg, no problemo there. These side pieces slide down and slide down. Naturally, if they were down in robot mode, he wouldn't be able to stand up, so, you know, you want to make sure not to leave them down. Now that we have that done, we're going to start to bring the nose cone out. Very reminiscent of the original transformation of the G1 toy. There is a... actually, maybe I should try and show that before I bring this out. There is a... If I can show it before I bring this out. Okay, there's a curvature up here in the back. His head will have to pass through that curvature. It is pretty tight of a fit, so you want to be careful doing it. Okay, so again, we start to bring this out. All the way through like that. We come up and we make sure that the head goes through that curvature quite nicely. We have the body extended. We come to the cockpit and we open that up. We flip out a little piece in the cockpit. That's where the seat is that our pilot will go in. We close that up and then we bring the whole front of the jet up. It is not a hard sequence at all. Actually, it's pretty nice. I do dig the way that the nose transforms, to be honest with you. We bring this down and we just tab the whole nose cone piece into that little ridge that the head went under. Okay. so far so good. The shoulder pauldron pieces, flip them back so that they're kind of parallel, I guess, with the jet. You see the head right here now underneath. And we will kind of just push that up there. By the way, the side pieces of his head there do push in. Just worth noting. So, next, you want to take the arm and bring it down and turn it so that the palm of the hand is facing out, the null rays on the back of his arm. Bring the thumb across, really I guess the palm of his hand, his wrist area, and fold up the fingers. Do the same over here where you turn that, bring the thumb across, bring that up like that. Now you are going to want to flip the wrist so that the hand is kind of curled in to the body here at a 90-degree angle. Hopefully you can see that. Same over here, you do that because you're going to end up having to flip these in soon. Bring that chest piece, oh by the way, before I do this, these chest pieces, by the way, also open to show you the missiles inside. I assume by now everybody probably already knew that, but like I said, I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can. So we bring that piece up, and we bring that piece up. They're out of the way, but right now they would just fall down if I didn't do anything else. So what do I do to sort of secure them? Here's what I do. You take this oblique, we'll call it the side oblique, and you angle it in. Get that arm out of the way. And you angle it up. It is a bit weird to move. You gotta angle it in, and then there's a black armature in right there. You can probably see right where my finger is pointing a pin on a black armature. You angle it in, and then that armature swings out so that this can kind of arc up where it belongs, and they go together right there in the center underneath the head. Beautiful. Now you want to bring these arms and turn them, and bring this arm and turn it. Is that right? Yeah, bring the shoulder in, and then holding on to that. What have I done wrong here? Because I definitely got something done wrong here. Oh, no, you don't. You don't. My mistake. Okay, so the arm stays there. Let's get this one in the same position. Okay, so you still have the Decepticon symbol out front. The hands are still in that 90-degree stance, and now you bend the arm in. I do find that this is a bit fiddly to get in, but you bend the shoulder in, keeping the arm straight, and then this gray hip skirt kind of guides onto the black hair to make it seamless, or should make it seamless. I don't find it particularly tabs in per se, but it is sort of seamless. You bring this arm in, and you do the same thing with the hip skirt on the side and on the side. And now underneath you have both arms in, the hands are facing each other down here. This section here, that's where the obliques were on the side. Here are the shoulders up here. Here are the chest pieces and the shoulder pauldrons, and of course the whole center of the chest mass is now the top of the plane. And this is certainly starting to come together. Okay, so right now I'm going to leave these null rays down like this, and I'm doing that for a reason. We flip around the wing, and we come here and we flip around the wing, and really what you have now after you flip around the wing is you have a little tab, get this up out of the way. You have a little tab right here, and that little tab will basically fit in over the top right here. So you kind of got to get this down under that little tab and it locks it in. Bring this down under that little tab and it locks it in. Great. You bring up the wing. Now when you close the wing, I just got his shoulder out here. That will happen, I find, during transformation with this guy. The arms do like to move. When you bring up the wing, you have a green tab. Can I angle this out of the way? I don't think so. You have a green tab here. You have a black tab on the arm here. You have a black tab right there on the arm. And you have a green tab up right here on the upper arm. That corresponds with a little tab hole here on the wing and a tab hole up further here on the wing. Little tab hole here on the wing. Yeah, and a little tab hole up further. You also have two green starts coming out right here. They will also go into sections here on the side of the wing. So the wing locks in a lot of places, actually. Bring that in, and it angles in on all of that really nicely. Bring, this one doesn't particularly want to go in quite as nicely for whatever weird reason. Of course, the first side went in just lovely, and the second is trying to be a pain to me. There we go. There. And there. Okay, so you just had to kind of finagle it a little bit to angle those in. Then we come to, tab that in. Then we come to the back. Oh, and by the way, this wing piece loves to pop off on both sides. Absolutely loves to pop off. These legs really go together. There's a peg right here and a hole over right there, and then you collapse them. But I find that it's easiest if you collapse them first and then peg them together. Maybe that's just me. Flip these back fins down. Oh, I did forget a step, so I'll bring these legs back out. You need to open up, and it's easiest if you latch on there. Open up and flip his heel spring and close it up. Open up, flip the heel spring, close it up. Bring that in, bring that in. Tab those legs together. Bring that jet down, and now you have him in his jet mode, and he does look pretty fantastic. Nice molded detail. It's not picked out, but I don't know if you really need it picked out. Now, I said that I wasn't going to move the null ray. Here's why. Because you have two choices with what you do. You can either leave the null ray down on the side and keep those missile things in. So you can keep the null ray face back and those missile things in. I don't really think you can flip the null ray around this way. Or you can keep those missile things off. You can bring the null ray out from the body, rotate it. Now the null rays do like to pop off as well, and bring it back. When you bring it back, there's a hole, of course, on the wing. There's a peg on the null ray, so you can bring it down, and you can, if it wants to do it for me now, there. And you can put the null ray in. So you can have the null ray facing forward as it is on this side, or you can have the null ray facing down and these things facing forward. He does have landing gear down here. You come over here, and you can flip that one out, and you can flip that one out. And if you come up on the front, you can bring down this little tab on the nose, and you can flip that out, and there you go. I think that looks pretty great. That being said, you can also open up the cockpit section here. You can take our little chrome pilot, place him in the cockpit section and close it up, and now he looks like he has a pilot. I guess it's probably supposed to be a hologram. And of course you can put the display base together in this manner, and the idea is that now where you brought those two oblique sections together, you have a little almost oval green section there, and that would fit into the oval green section here. I do find that it doesn't hold particularly well. Of course, it's also quite possible that I'm just putting it in there incorrectly. Yeah, see, I can't really get it to stay in there. Hold on. Let's see if I can have a bit of luck with it. There you go. And it does look great in there, there's no doubt. It's just, I don't know. I kind of don't care about the display stand. The transformation isn't too bad. It really isn't. The couple of finicky pieces are just finicky because, not because they're difficult, but just because of the way that tabs fit together. I will give the transformation a 10. I think it's a great Seeker transformation. So we have a 10 and a 10, but we had a 7 for articulation because of certain limitations. Overall, this whole mold it's about an 8. It's pretty good. It is pretty good. I don't know why certain things haven't been refined and improved over time with it. That is all. I like it, but it's not absolutely perfect. And while I do think that the original price of this guy and the original price of the Seekers was probably worth it, the going rates that I've seen for the reuse of this mold as the cone heads, I don't think is worth it. Those are astronomical prices for a mold that is not perfect. The nose does open up again to reveal this, I don't know, radar dish. I'm not really sure what this piece is or why it is there, but it can do that. And I close that in. And as is the case with a lot of these thrusters can move for, I don't know, individual thrust, I guess. It's nice, but it's not absolutely perfect. If you could score this for a good price, hey, go for it. But don't overspend on this mold. That's just my 2 cents. What can I say, folks? I really appreciate Jeff again letting me take a look at this. It's something that I've never had an opportunity to kind of handle, and now I'm glad that I have, so I can really give an opinion that is informed about this. And maybe the whole chest slippage thing, based on things that I've seen over the years, might be a bit of results vary. I don't know. But overall, this guy, yeah, he's about an 8. And that's pretty good. It's just not necessarily, in my opinion, masterpiece. And that's all I got to say for this one, folks. I appreciate you dropping by, giving me some of your valuable time. And you know that I look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the videos.